working with their secondary. He was at Colorado. He just finished at Colorado, his third year there, and he's on his way to the Atlanta Falcons. So let's have a hand for Coach Greg Brown.
See a lot of the same faces back from this morning. It's the blessed for punishment in here. What we want to do this time with this hour, this time frame, let's go ahead and let's work on base people in the game. We're not substituting, and let's get some pass and stop. How we do it at our place. The thing that we first of all need to know in Colorado when we make any of our calls is who's in the game. Offensively, who's in the game. That's the number one priority. We make every call based on that. A lot of times, or not a lot of times, but a few times we can be wrong, and if we are, our kids have to be coached up well enough to know that, hey, the call came in from the sideline that you had a certain group of receivers in the game and they're not, and they've got to have a check that they're going to go to get them out of trouble if we put them into a bad call. And I would say from experience that that's why playing against Nebraska is the hardest thing we have to do every year, because the different personnel groupings they use in the game consistently is more than anybody else in our league, and they are extremely well coached, and I do not like playing them, and I'm glad that I don't have to play them anymore. I'll just be watching on TV cheering when I'm playing from now on, but they are really tough to get prepared for because of their personnel. The way that we break our people down is we color code them, and this all goes along with this idea of matching up people, so that's not reading into this. Well, the first thing I do is when I'm in the box, I look down there and see, okay, who's in the game? If normal people are in the game, which to us would be two receivers, one tight, two backs, we call that white. And so we'll hold up a white card. And our people in the secondary and the rest of the linebackers will come, they'll look over, they'll see a guy standing next to our defensive coordinator holding up a white place card. And they'll turn to each other and say, white's in the game. And the advantage is it gives them about an extra 10 seconds to figure out how to get lined up as far as formation and anticipation. Plus, they kind of get an idea all week to work with. You say, look, out of white, here's their top 3 passes, here's their top 3 runners. So they kind of get it drilled in their head, you know, what they possibly have getting ready to face them. The rest of our colors I'll go through so you can see how we identify. If we've got 2 tights, 2 receivers, and 1 back in the game, that means yellow to us. If we've got 2 tights, 2 backs, and 1 receiver, that's brown. If we've got 3 receivers, 1 tight, 1 back, that's purple. If we have 3 receivers, 2 backs, and no tight end, that's orange. If we have 4 receivers and 1 back, that's black. And those would be the base ones. Now there's different little individual colors, tan, silver, you name it. We got all those little bitty ones. But those are those ones that I just mentioned. Those are the ones that you see pretty much game in and game out from somebody. And as I said before, it's hard when you play Nebraska because they're going to consistently use 5 of those colors every game. Whereas if you're going to play somebody else in our league, they might use 2, 3 at tops. And so it's a lot easier to prepare for them during the week because you know, look, you got to have a man coverage for these 3 colors. You got to have a blitz for these 3 colors. You got to have a zone for the etc. But when you're going to play somebody using multiple colors, like 5 or more, then where they get you is cuts into your practice time. The way our system is set up, the more colors you use, then you got to have a blitz for each color, nickel for each color, a blitz for etc. You got a lot more problems. So anyway, that's right along. That's our system. That's the basis for it right there. Second thing that we've got to know is how to identify what the people on offense are doing. We want to be able to call the offense that we're facing. We want to be able to spell it out explicitly what they're doing. So we will teach the system to our players. We will say, Ronnie, you jump up there on the board, and I want you to draw me Trey. And that way formation, draw me Trey right, Will 826 jet right. And we expect the defensive player to know how to do that. So he would jump up and draw Trey through the formation. Will be the protection. We kind of get them into that. Their first year, they usually have a tough time learning that. But after a while, you want to make them as aware as you can. Remember, it's that saying, it's true. It's not how much you know, it's how much they know. If they can have a better idea what's coming at them because they understand the game of football more, I think you just have a better chance. So we kind of demand that out. Trey, Will, 826 jet wide. The system we use, 826, that's talking to X, Y, Z. Number. 8 is post, 20 is an over, 6 is a dig, which I'll show you in the tree, jet wide, word, we finish up talking to the two backs, the U and the B, the U first and then the B. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be two backs. What if you say, well, what if you're playing a team with black personnel game, which if you remember is 4 wides and 1 back? You say, well, what are you going to do? Give me 4 numbers and 1 word? No, we still call we identify 826, and then even though it's a fourth receiver instead of a back, we call his route jet, and a single back would be wide. So that's the basis of our system. Let's look at the route tree just to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, that'd probably be, it's not real big, but that may be as good as what, based on our experience earlier in the hour with the view right here. What you've got is the outside breaking routes are all the odd numbers. The 1 and the 2, the inside breaking routes right here, the hitch and quick out, those correspond with the quarterback taking a 3-step drop. So we can call that like that. The 5-step drop, we've got a 3, which is the normal 12-yard out. And then 4, the 12-yard curl, we call that the 4. Now, corresponding to the 7-step drop, we've got the rest. 5 is the deep out or the comeback. 6 is the dig, which is at 18, is where we see it. 7 is the corner. 9 is the go. And 8 is the post. So when we identify our people, let me just draw up the very example we just talked about. Let's draw up Trey Will 826 jet wide. Okay, here's what we got is a formation backwards. Here's the formation, and we call this a 2-by-2 set. There's 2 people over here, 2 people on this side. So let's just draw it. If I said, Ronnie, jump up there and draw me Will 826 jet wide. Now Trey, here's Trey. Right here, I've got it drawn already. All right, so 8 we go X, Y, Z. So we got 8 based on that to the route tree we just saw as the post. 20 is an over route. 6 is the dig. So there's 826 jet. Jet route is the same as over. They're just different names for all our numbers for what to use. So wide. Now he's got to know his protection is Will, which we went through. The Will is a slide weak. Protection we're going to be stick. Basically, what you got is those 4 got those 4, and you got a dual here. And you're going to get off on the wide if he doesn't have to kick up from a 1 to 2 type situation. So our players should be able to get there and draw that. And we don't think that it's putting too much on. We think that the more you get them involved, then the more motivated they are going to be to go be players. In fact, we prefer to say, look, to help them be good players, we want you to coach them to be coaches. Is the way we would really like to get them to do. So if they're out there on the field and something comes up that they haven't seen before, then they at least have an idea of maybe what they should get into to combat something that they haven't seen and are not sure. Now, as far as philosophy goes, we think that you can do any one of these 5 things right here. You can be a pure zone team. You can be a matchup zone team, which the difference to me, pure zone would mean you're a spot drop team. You're going to certain landmarks on the field, and you're going to square for your quarterback. A matchup zone to us would mean you are going to go to your area, but then you, off of your various reads, whatever matchup type system you're in, you're going to jump the man in your zone. So now all of a sudden it becomes a tighter, where I've got my man instead of getting my area to break up on the ball thrown, but whereas I got my man who came into my area type of thing. Zone-man combinations, now that's what we've seen earlier this morning, where one side of the field we might play a 2-deep zone, and then on the other side we might have a man-man situation, a lock, half type situation, which to us would be a way to run quarter, half defense. So that would be truly one side is zone, the other side is man combination. Now, straight man combination, that would be where if you're going to have some sort of, besides post up, somebody else coming to double somebody in the form of a rob, a steal, a double, or whatever, inside trap, outside trap. This is where you're going to have strictly man combinations. But remember, if you've got 4 guys rushing, you got 7 left to defend 5. You got 1 you always want to put a post up. The other player you do want to double or do something with in where they are most likely to throw the ball by personnel or by place position on the field. Then the last thing, of course, would be blitz. us, we define blitz as 6 men or more. When you say or more, you know, if you got 6 going, they got 5 eligible, so how can you get any more? Well, for one guy that blocks, then all of a sudden, instead of me standing and looking at it, I can go up to him and dead dog, so now I become a 7, etc. You can become 7, 8, whatever, you can become however many they block in there, you can dead dog your guys. So now you do have the potential for more than a 6-man list, but you do have to have 5 obviously responsible for their 5. I don't think you can just, you know, X out a guy and wing and say, if this guy gets out, then they get out, because, you know, I use the Murphy's Law. The worst possible thing that can happen will happen if you don't plan for it, don't prepare for it, because I've seen that happen. I don't think you want to go through that one right there. So anyways, what I'm saying on this part is basically this is, I don't think teaching-wise, time-wise, you can do all these things. I don't think you can come close to doing all these things. What I think needs to be done is you need to figure out which maybe one or which maybe 2 combinations would be the best for you and go with it. I know at our place we certainly don't have time to teach all these, and we wouldn't even attempt to try that. A lot of times what people will do would be, if you are a big on 3rd down, if you have got a good dime package in the game, and you've got people who have the ability to cover the 10, of course they want to do this on 3rd down because you got to get them stopped on 3rd. Now, what you teach in conjunction a lot of times with that would be the pure zone on the earlier downs, because that way you don't have a huge teaching investment. I mean, you got the pure zone is one thing, and then the pure man is another thing. You don't get into the matchup type zone. Whereas if you're a matchup zone team, and I've been on both, where you're a straight matchup, where you're pure zone. If you're a matchup team, usually teams do this because maybe you don't quite have the stud hostels to go play man when you need to. Yet you don't want to be sitting there and stuck in a true zone where you high load all day, etc. So they decide to invest their time in matchup zones. And if you do that, it's been our experience that you do it, then you've got to kind of major in it and spend some time in it, because there's a lot of ins and outs that you do need to learn. But the advantage is it's an aggressive, somewhat safer way to play zone, and tighter way to play zone than just sitting there in pure landmark zone. So I think, you know, matchup zones, they're very, very worthwhile. The other advantage is, if that's the route you go, then on 3rd down, you don't necessarily need to become a big man combination team, because that's been your package on 1st and 2nd down, so you do have the ability to stick with it, play it on 3rd down, because you are tighter than being way off in the true zone. So that's kind of our feelings right there, and we've got some good film here we're going to look at, and the first thing we want to do is look at some of the different ways to play 3D. Now, this is going to be just a lot of conventional things that you've seen. I think that you will enjoy, because when you play 3D, there's a lot of ways to play 3D. And you say, well, you know, I didn't come here to learn how to play 3D. But the thing is, on 1st down, you better pick out some sort of a zone. If it's not 3D, some sort of 2D, something where you want more your eyesight on the line of scrimmage if a ball breaks. If the run breaks, if you want to be a man team, I would suggest that you wait until 2nd and 8 or more, or 3rd down and sub, because if you're going to plan on being a pure man team on 1st down, and you've got your back turned because you're chasing with your receiver down line of scrimmage, outside the down the field, and the ball breaks through line of scrimmage here, you can't see it. You're chasing your guy, and it's gone. So basically, at our place, I know we would rather have our more sets eyes on line of scrimmage in some sort of a zone matchup. 3D, we ended up liking a lot of 3D type matchups this year, last 2 years actually, for extra help on the run. So that's kind of our feeling. Now 3rd down, yeah, our eyes are here, we're on our guys, and we're not paying attention. We say, look, you guys that are assigned to have the run responsibility, you get that taken care of, we're not going to help you on that. But that is what our feeling is. The other thing is this, is with base people in the game, you know, you better have some. If you are going to be a man team on 1st down, then you got to have some of those linebackers got to really have some pretty good coverage skills, depending on what sort of man team you are. If you're just a post up only team, or if you're a locked up team. I see that. Is that Nebraska shirt on? No. Oh, I was just sitting there bragging about Nebraska, and I thought, man, I'll tell you, they are good. They really are a good team. Anyways, the first 3D that we want to teach. Not necessarily that we want to teach, but I'm going to teach right here. Let's look at, make sure that we just know we're all on the same page. Let's look at a 3D sky type situation. Because as we said earlier this morning, you've got the ability to go both sides, sky cloud background, both sides. We want to make sure we cover the bases on that. So here again, this has got another 2x2 type set right here. So what we're going to line up, we're a 3-4 front team. We will walk off the wheel to the displaced receiver here. We always want to get in that 2 safety look. You know, unless we're just totally getting hammered on the run, we do want to get into a 2 safety look. And we do want to go with the 4-man rush when we are going to play our 3 deep. So let's just look at the base wave. We're going to play 3 deep sky. First thing we might do is, in fact, this film will be up, this clip will be up on the film, is particularly if we've got a wide side, we might want to go to the wide side. If there is no wide side, the ball is right in the middle and it's balanced, well, then you can pick your side, go either side if it's a balanced set. For this argument's sake, let's go to the tight end side. Let's run a sky coverage over here. For us, we call this 3 sky. And what we do here is our corner is going to bail to an outside third. When he bails, he is going to kick, he's going to line up, head up here, and if you've got a young corner, go ahead and shade him outside. The ball's in here, you want to make sure you kick past 180. This toe has got to be past the heel here. You don't want to be like this, you want to be here. And you would prefer to keep the receiver inside of you so you can, as you're ready, looking at the quarterback and feel him. Now, occasionally, those guys, they're no dummies. They get coached. They're going to run wide. They know what you're doing. They're going to run wide. So if that happens, the guy just completely beats you outside. You know, as you're running here, you've got to take a glance at it. Now, it's not favorable to do that because now you lose your eyesight on the ball. But you do have to find out where your receiver is. In fact, there is one of the clips of our corner having to take a glance at it. I'll show you. So anyway, we'll send him to his deep outside third. We're going to send him on the snap to the sail area, we call this here. Okay, now what we're going to do is obviously get 4 balanced underneath, 3 deep zone, and a 4-man rush. So this is we call this sail. We're going to send this guy to this hook. We call him Mac. We'll send Mike to the opposite hook. Let's send Will to this sail. We call that area the sail instead of the flat because of the route. I call the sail route, which is a deeper 18-yard semi-corner type route, which if you just say go cover the flat, those guys see it, somebody running the flat, usually they're just going to be human magnets and run right up to them. And then they're going to open the sail right behind. So we always remind our guys, say go cover the sail. So now we've got underneath, we'll see, as you can see, we're 4 equal areas underneath. Now let's bail this outside corner, get his outside third, and what we need is a free safety. He's got to turn his hips. We can't backpedal to it, but yeah, we got to turn our hips over, get to the middle of the formation, square up and then pedal, and we got to come downhill both sides at an angle to make the play in the posterior. So as you can see, we got 3 equal deep thirds and 4 underneath equal. Now to get our 4-man rush with 3-4 front, we're going to bring our strong outside backer. So we'll bring Sam. Now our end, he's going to do this and make an inside move because the Sam's coming through here. The nose will do this and make this type of a move. This end will do this and make this type of a move, provided pass shows. If run shows, we have different games where they'll do this automatically or they may not. They may have to stand there holding their gap. Just depends on what they've got planned. This would be just a regular old 3 sky, which I'm sure is nothing new, but now let's kind of branch off and look at some of the other things besides 3 sky. Now, if there's questions, any time to shoot. Say again?
What depth are you lining up the safety?
12 yards, sir. We line our safeties 12 yards deep, 2 yards outside the hatch is where our alignments are. Now, you know, the hatches in college, they've changed last year, so it changes a little bit every year, and I'm not sure how different that is right now from the high school hatches, from the NFL. I'm not sure right now from high school. But yes?
Your free drop like this and then go to the 3/3.
No, you'll see what he's going to do. Let's say I'm the safety on this hash. I don't have 2 yards outside this hash, and I've got to get to this middle third. All right, I'm going to stand here on the snap. I'm going to turn my hips this way. I'm going to run at this angle, and then I'll square up right here to be able to come down. And we work on that drill a lot. What happens is we'll take and we'll divide up where maybe I would take the corners one day. We've got another coach who works with our safeties. He would take them and he'll work a lot on, he'll go turn and go, pedal, turn and go, pedal, where these guys just do this like this to get used to turn their hips, get all the way off the hash and square up. So we'll work hard on that thing.
Coach, how deep are your corners?
We line them up bump every snap. That's the advantage of, you see what we think of this, you guys, it's just our feeling, is if you line up the same look every snap, 2 deep, bump look with a 3-4 front, if you don't cheat the safeties, if they stand there square and no corner is bailing early and no linebacker standing there giving away which one's coming by cocking his foot, you know, the one guy's like this, the other one's getting ready to get out of there, that's obvious. If you're a 3-4 front, bump, 2 deep look, you really can't tell if nobody individually tips away. You would really have no clue which way the line's going to slant, which way the coverage is going to go. So based on, that's our whole thing, is basing off that, we want to look the same every single snap because of that reason. Okay, now, same formation. We just showed a 3 sky. Let's look at 3 clouds. 3 clouds is going to be the same thing, except he's going to jam, and then he'll get back in that sail area we talked about. That means he would just swap and take his third. All you're doing, everybody's doing the same, but these two are swapping jobs. We're still going to bring him, still make this type of move. Hook, hook, sail, middle third, outside third. So you do have same defense, 3 deep, but now you just change up between your corner and your safety. We do this, yes.
Your corner steps up and bumps that guy, starts pushing him, force him inside.
Force him inside, yes, sir. We want to get completely outside of him, jam him inside. We don't want to let him ride the rail all the way down all the way down the sideline and put this safety in a real severe stretch. We do this more on pass down. We want to sky on rundowns because it's a narrow alley. Ate too much for lunch. And if it's a cloud, we want a cloud on pass downs because this guy can jam the outside receiver. You're not as worried about the run force through this alley, what I'm talking about right here. It's too wide to play cloud. I think I'll run. Yes, sir.
Do you like your safeties on hash marks or formation?
Hash marks and formation. If the ball's right in the middle of the field, they'll just always be 2 yards outside. If the ball's on one hash the other, they use common sense and the formation. If the receiver's in real tight, we don't want to be outside of him with our safety. Good point.
When you right the corner right receiver in, they follow him to the center.
Yes, they sure do. And they make that cloud corner right there. I've seen them make plays on that. They should make a play on that, coach. This would be 3 cloud. Let's look at the one other defense on the same side, which would be 3 backers. Okay, now on 3 back, we're going to change a couple other guys' jobs too. We're going to go outside third here. Now we're going to take Sam and put him to the sail. Now we're going to take Strong and put him to the hook. So you see we've got a change up. We've got 3 guys that are covering 3 different areas, but I mean it's the same thing. This side is going to be the same. Third,
What do you call this?
3 backer. This is sail. This is this hook. All right, now, since Sam is dropping in the pass coverage, he's taking that sail now. We need a 4-man rush. So this time, instead of making an inside move, we contain with him. We're going to bring him on, still on this side, still contain with him, and we'll go ahead and bring him as the 4th rusher down. We play this defense more so than 3 cloud or 3 sky. The reason is, this guy's got a much better chance to play the dig than a linebacker who's up here. He's getting a pass run read, and he's not sure it's play action. He jumps up. He says, oh, it's pass. He starts to go back. He sees a 20 route, a little drag in front of him, and he jumps that thing, and they open the dig up right behind him. So we feel that safety back there is not going to bite near as easy. He's got better vision. He's trained to read the whole offensive line the way we do it, where he can read, run, and pass a little easier. And then got big responsibility his side, but as we said this morning, he's free to kind of roam in there. This guy, we give this guy a lot of leeway. He's just gonna make plays. He can make plays out here, in here, all the way over here. This guy covers a lot of areas for us in this defense. The thing about this, bringing the fourth rusher from here, we found that disrupts the run game a fair amount of time too, especially when you get people running the gap series or whatever you call it, counter OT series, on the run through type stuff. I know that we play guys who that has bothered them, and that we haven't done it on purpose to bother with the run, but it seems like it has worked to our advantage quite a few times really. So that's 3 different ways so far we've seen you play 3D. Now let's look at one more, and then we'll turn the film on all this stuff.
Last one, Coach, the outside linebacker, stay very long with tight end or at all, or he bail out right away?
He bails out. You see, if you line him up on the outside shade when he does this, the negative is, you know, anytime you get 4 verticals without him getting touched. So what let's say you got a 4 vertical type route here. We're going to split the seam basically here, split here, split here. But the thing is, this guy here, being that he's not touched, we found that we tell this guy, look, if 2 is vertical here, we jam and then we turn and go with him to take a lot of pressure off this free safety so he can concentrate more on that side there. Good question.
Will you slow your will backer? You got a number 2 out there?
What we do, Coach, is we line him up on the inside shade on this receiver, and we want to make him jam. We call it an over jam. We want him to bubble around. We want to jam him and then go up this angle here. But we don't want to be outside and have a clean release. We want this type of action.
You never let him cross the face.
We do, but first we jam him before he does cross our face. Before we go out to our side, we turn our hips, just like we do with our safeties. We turn our hips, we get back to this angle and square up. We don't want to lose contact with the quarterback with our eyes at any point there if we are that will back.
Coach,
Yes.
if he has let's say a 7-yard split.
Okay. This guy here?
Right.
Okay.
And he starts up vertical. How long do you stay with him before Will leaves him to go to the seal?
Okay.
Or Mike-
What we do is
or Mike to take over?
what we do is we jam, and I'll tell you, we let him go before 10. I mean, we just want to make him bubble and then get out here. At that point, Mike could get there, but mainly the way we play the double vertical, anytime we get this high horizontal stretch here, is the guy we put on, we say it's a combination of you making an over jam and you falling back inside on this play. We don't necessarily make the three do it, which I'll show you when we get to more 3x1 stuff, but it's a combination of the over jam and the corner falling back inside. We don't let this guy stay outside. We do a lot of work where what we do with our corners is this, so they get used to playing 2 verticals and they've got to break up on one or the other, is we do a drill where we'll have 2 lines, a line of receivers here, a line of receivers right here, and we'll put the DB on your head of your root right here because we bail, because it's harder when you're up there pressing. You got to really learn how to do it. All right, so quarterback would be right over here. We got inside receiver, outside receiver, corner right over here. I'll get back here. All the receivers, of course, know our number is the same as what I just told you guys on the route tree. I might flash at you. I might say, give me this. And I look over you and I say, you give me this. Now the corner's up here with his back to me. He doesn't know what he's going to get. So then the quarterback says, go. So he'll bail out like we talked about. We'll kick past here. We'll bail. We'll try to keep you inside. And we'll have vision on number 2 here. All right, if 2 is vertical now, we do drift inside because now we've got to see where the quarterback's going to throw the ball. So we always tell our quarterback, look at one and throw the other. So our guys got to get used to both. Now let's say we did the same thing, but I sit there and I said, you give me this and you give me this here. So when he said, go, I bail out. As I come out, I see you start running out breaking around 3 cut. As soon as I see that, I stay out wider. I get real wide. I do not let this guy beat me to the boundary. That's all I got is 1 deep right now. So it's just about as a corner learning how to play. A double seam is just, if you have 2 threats or you have 1 threat, if you're a third guy, is what we've basically got to learn how to teach our guys how to do. And it takes a little bit of work. Let's look at one more way of playing a 3D, and then we'll turn those 4 ways we just saw on the film. Okay, this one here we'll call 3 cat. Again, let's go the same strong side. To us, we define strength as wherever the tight end is. It doesn't matter. I know that they say, well, there's 2 receivers over here, that's strength. I'm just saying, for our purposes, wherever the tight end is, the Y, we call him, he's strong. So that's how we know where to line up our strong safety, our stand backer, etc. Okay, we're gonna run 3 cat now. It's gonna be a 4-man rush again. The fourth rusher is not gonna be Sam, it's not gonna be Maxwell, it's gonna be a corner cat. And we're just gonna come from here. We found it best not to show it. The only time we show it is on a sub, third down type situation when we got 6 backs in the game. If you guys were in here this morning and you saw the cheat package where the corner and the nickel cheated, now that we're doing that for blitz, to give the illusion of blitz. See, on first down though, this is the first down call, we're not interested in that. We're interested in this guy coming with the element of surprise. Now, from just standing here and going on a snap, yes, you got longer to go, yes, you may not get there, but if the guy holds the ball at all, you can get there, and a lot of times nobody sees you. If you start to cheat, they see you and they're going to get you, they're going to pick you up. So it's been our advantage to bring him from right at the snap without showing it at all. So if he's going to come, let's put him in the sail. Let's still go him in the third, middle third, outside third, sail, hook, hook. He's a rush. Now he's going to make an inside move here, here, here. So that's our 4-man rush. That would be 3 cat.
You run that option responsibility as a corner thing?
Yes. Yeah, the way we do on option is doesn't matter if it's 3 deep, 2 deep, 4, whatever, man. It's whoever, the way we call it is this. If any zone, whoever's got the sail area, he got pitch is the way we do it. Unless we're going to work a game where we're going to exchange a call. But the base way would be whoever is covering this area, excuse me, he would have pitch, but since this guy is coming, he runs into that thing a lot. I mean, they never see him come usually on this here. But normally your rule is whoever is covering this area in 2 deep, 3 deep, whatever, he's going to be your pitch player.
Would you do that to the wide side of the field?
Yeah, oh yeah, we do it wherever. See, we do it, you know, in the past I've seen guys do it, and we've done it a little bit in the past based on wherever the field was, tight side. We usually do it from the narrow side, but that was in the past. Nowadays, we just do it formation only. Wherever the formation is, if we got a 3 cat, 6 cat would be away from the tight end. That's the way we call it, that's the way we go. It doesn't matter how wide or how narrow it is. Okay, now what I'd like to do is especially if somebody can give me a hand with hugging this one right here. Let's turn on this film here and let's see some of the things we just talked about. Yeah, there's a cap right on there, Coach, right on top there. Let's see now, this morning it took me about 5 times to try to get this thing to work. Let's see here. My thing right here. Listen, you know what, you need to hit the, up on top of the, beat on the projector, no, up on top, there's a button there to turn that lamp on. Yeah, there you go. Think you got it? Okay, looks like we got it working. All right, now here's what we got. Same formation we just drawn here. There's the Z, there's the tight end, single back, there's the slot receiver, the outside X receiver. So there's corner, Will backer, and nose and Sam, Mac and Mike, corner, strong safety goes tight end side, free safety away from the tight end side. So our same 2 safety look. This film was 2 years ago, not this year, so that's why they are on the hash. This past year they've changed the college hash where now our guys can be 2 yards outside. But 2 years ago they all lined up correctly, 12 yards and on the hash is where we like it. So this one is a 3 sky. So we're going to go third, sail, bring him, inside move, contain, sail, third, turn your hips, middle third, hook, hook. See if they do it right. I hope they do it right. Okay, there you see, there's Sam coming, right here. He's gonna come. So you got your four-man rush right here with these four. All right, now let's check out. He's gonna bail up the top. Right on the snap, good outside bail. He kind of lets you get outside, but he's not in bad shape. All right, down here, let's check his bail. Okay, there's a good bail right here. He's inside, he's got good vision. All right, check his sail. He jammed, he didn't really get back, but see the flow, that was a gap type pass. The flow kind of took him there. All right, now let's check him. He should turn his hips, get to his middle third here. That ain't very good. In fact, that's terrible. I'm going to check this guy here. This guy should be this hook. Play pass. See, he got caught up on it. Now he's hooked, play pass. Here's our sky guy, our sail guy. And now the quarterback's going to run a gap pass. Now he dropped it. All right, let's see what this is. This is going to be a three cloud here. Here, same set. There's the X and the U, the two receivers. There's the tight end. There's the outside receiver, Z in the back. We're going to go cloud this side. This is actually, instead of a three cloud, here's a six cloud for us. So we're going to cloud him. We're going to go outside third, middle third, outside third. In fact, on this play, we end up going with a three-man rush. Occasionally, we would go three-man rush and get one extra dropper underneath. At the time, we had some linemen who weren't healthy. We felt we really weren't even getting there with four-man rush, so we went a little bit of three-man rush early in the year at this particular time. But we're going to cloud the C and jam and come back to the sail here. Jam, sink, there's C vertical, there's nothing holding him here. All right, now this guy should get to his outside third here. Okay, not bad. Now here's a good play right here. This guy he is turning his hips. There is regard to the formation where the ball is on the hash. He is turning his hips square. That's excellent right here. Now he can make a play. All right, down here, you can hardly see with the shadow here, change light, but he's going to bail outside. Perfect, thank you. He's going to bail outside. There you go. And the guy's going to try. Now we got the four horizontals. Okay, so this guy ends up making a good play, but this guy does too. That's his job as a free safety. Where the quarterback's going to go get the ball. Okay, now let's look at a three-backer situation. Okay, what we got? There's the X and the U, the V, the Y, and the Z. So, in fact, instead of three-backer, we're going to go six-backer this play. This is the guy who's going to come here and be our Robin guy. He's going to have a lot of responsibility to roam in here. He's going to be third, outside third, sail. He's going to go, remember, fourth rush, hook, sail. In fact, let's start off, let's check out him, make sure he goes. Let's see. All right, let's see if this guy should go here, he should go here. Okay, he's blocked, but he did. He's kind of slow, but that's his job. All right, now he should be this hook, and let's check him. All right, he's all right. Now this is the safety coming down, and it's got a lot of leeway right here. This is the 3 deep we play more than anything else. Okay, now we're going to run the corner cat. Here's a 3x1 set. This is, see, we always go corners over when we talk about matchup. Wherever the X and Z are, the corners go. So here's the left corner. This is the right corner, came over. Strong safety, free safety here. Now what's going to happen is he's going to go back in motion here. So now we can go back to the 3 cat and come off the tight end side, which is what he does here. So he's just acting like he's a little slow so he can go. But a lot of times they just never see it. It's been our experience, most of the time they never see it.
Hey, Coach,
Yes, sir.
is that guy hanging on in motion when he's gone from this side?
Each week we change it, Coach. Some weeks we'll have a keep call where we'll keep it on and we'll adjust around it. Other weeks we won't, we'll take it off. It just depends on what we feel they're doing out of a 2-back slot that week.
This changes the gap control for the defensive line.
This,
Yeah, that's because he goes in motion now, he's going off deck over the top.
this particular game, if I remember right, what we were doing was, if this guy wouldn't have went in motion, he would have went, we would have slanted this way, would have played regular 2-3 deep without any sort of cap. But I believe that's what we were doing without the motion. Now, once the motion hit, we came over here, they had to know they were coming this way. Now, we assign each two inside backers, they call a rip and Liz, which they're telling the line which way to slant. And they gotta change the Liz call to a rip call.
Because of the motion?
Yes. There we go, see the inside? You got a lot of cats coming up here.
You show that one again, Coach?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're getting ready to, Coach, we got 5 minutes left, so I'm gonna let this thing roll, that's all right? We got a lot of cats coming right now, okay? There's a cat coming down here. Yeah, oh yeah. Now they saw, here's a cat coming from up top. Here's bail. You know, when we're talking about bail, this guy lets him outside of him right here. But here's, you can kind of see the bail technique, how you got to kick out wide, run out wide. You want to cut the guy off. Here's another bail. Now he had to take a peek because this guy released so wide. Now here's when we're talking about playing the slot. Like, God dang it. Just a second. I hit the wrong one. Sorry, gentlemen. Force. that back.